All right, thank you, Sharon. So, my name is Ellen, and I'm lucky enough to be one of the 6 summer interns here at the North American Bear Center. So, to everyone standing back here with me, thank you for visiting, and to all of our online viewers, thank you for tuning in. So, it is a cool day here in Ely, Minnesota. The temps are in the upper 50s, which is probably comfortable for our bears because they still have those warm winter coats on. They are starting to shed, but black bears only have summer coats for a very short period of time during the year. Most of you have likely noticed that it's donut day for enrichment. Each of our bears has gotten a hard plastic donut, save for Ted, who has a tube. These are all filled with some of their favorite snacks. This includes a lot of different dried fruits like pineapples and bananas, although some of our bears are less inclined to eat the bananas if they know we have something better. There's also peanuts out of the shell and some dried apricots. Some of our bears do have a sweet tooth and like to eat those fruits right away. So they need to manipulate the donuts that they have to knock the food out of the holes that are cut in the plastic. This is just a good way to keep the bears' mind working, make them work for their food a little bit more instead of just handing it to them as Ted prefers. As you watch enrichment activities, you can really see the different personalities that we have here. So Tasha is very food motivated. When we hand feed her, she's one of the quickest eaters. She also makes very quick work of whatever item we've handed her. You can see her flipping it over right now and sliding it along. She is a pretty smart bear. Holly is her usual regal self when she does enrichment. She makes quick work of the item and will pick around less desirable food sometimes. We'll head back in there and there'll just be peanuts lying around because she just wanted the other treats. Ted prefers easy solutions, which is why we gave him the tube. He doesn't really care for a challenge. He would much rather just have the food. He likes to take a simple approach at things, which we can see right now as he's eating out of that tube with his long, 6 to 8 inch long sticky tongue that all black bears have. This is a really good way for them to eat things out of tubes and donuts, or in the wild, they might rip open a rotten log and eat insects and larvae that they find. Lucky is often calm in his approach for enrichment activities. He likes to investigate, and he eats at his own pace. He's a bit slower than our other bears. We like to say that he's just kind of polite. Before I dive into a sort of Bear Center update, I'd like to ask any of our visitors that we have standing here if you have any questions that I can answer. A question about any of our 4 ambassador bears or black bears in general. If you're all the way down at the end, you could ask one of the interns and they could pass it up to me. Yeah. Do bears have territories? That's an excellent question. So female bears will maintain a territory in the wild of about 6 to 8 miles. They will defend it. Male black bears will wander between these territories. They might wander between around 9 female territories. This creates an area that's much too large to defend. So male black bears don't defend a territory. If they get in disputes, it's usually over a female that they're both interested in, but they won't try to fight to defend a territory. Female bears would. Really good question. What was it? So our head researcher here, the question was how many bears do we have in this area? So our head researcher here and founder of the North American Bear Center estimates that there's about 1 bear every square mile. So there's quite a few up here. Any more questions? All right, if there are no more questions, then I'll just go into a little bit of an update. So it has been kind of a hectic day here. There was a power outage that interrupted critter time earlier this morning. This did provide an opportunity to talk about some of northern Minnesota's nocturnal critters that we do have up here. Unlike our bears that are diurnal, we have some bat species, the most common up here being the little brown bat, as well as possums that love to eat all the ticks that we have out here. We do have a display inside that shows a mother bear gently pulling ticks off of her cubs. So possums even help out the bears when they eat all these ticks that can bother humans and black bears. So while those animals might not have minded a power outage, it did create some obstacles for us. It was pretty dark in there. So we had just turned on all the screens inside when the plug was pulled, and then we had to do it all over again. For people that have been inside our facilities, you know that there's a lot of really cool videos to watch, but we do have to turn on every individual screen, so that can take some time. Our bears didn't notice many changes, them being outside in the lovely sunlight, although it's a bit of a cloudy day up here, so they didn't seem to mind. Black bears do have better nighttime vision than humans, so maybe we should have asked Ted for some help. He probably could have seen inside better than we could have. Not only is their nighttime eyesight good, but black bears do have vision that's pretty comparable to humans during the daylight. They also do see in color, which some people find surprising. Their eyesight may be good, but their sense of smell is even better. Black bears can smell many times greater than a bloodhound dog, which is one of the canine world's best smellers. They can smell for over 2 miles, so that can explain how they can go and find ripe blueberry patches that are so far away. They can smell it. This also means that our females here can smell some of those wild bears that we have on the other side of this fence. So like I said, there's one black bear every square mile, so there's a lot out there, and it is mating season for black bears. So Holly would just love to head out there and introduce herself to some of the males that we have wandering around out here. We are not a breeding facility, so we do not allow that, which Holly doesn't appreciate. But unfortunately, we need to keep her separated from any males, except for Lucky, who is castrated, so we do allow them to hang out together during this time of year. We have had some wild bears investigate our fence. There is a cinnamon-colored yearling that sometimes likes to wander over. Because it's mating season, that means it's also family breakup season. So as females are ready to find another mate after taking care of the cubs for 16 to 17 months, they like to send them off. So that it's time for those yearlings to figure out life on their own, and a cinnamon bear is still working on that as he comes and checks out our facilities. We do have to send him off because it does kind of irritate our bears to have some strange bear lurking nearby. That was my job several days ago. He is pretty bold, and he could smell the food pouch I had on me, so he would run off a couple steps and then stop and take a look at me. No matter how much I yelled, he didn't seem that scared. However, we brought out the big guns, meaning a garbage bag. So that loud noise that you can make when flapping a garbage bag around really seemed to scare the cinnamon yearling. After I ran around like a goofball, shouting and waving that around, we couldn't even find him after that. So he really took off like a rocket. We haven't seen him since, so it seems like it did the trick. So if you have problems with nuisance bears in your area, you might just want to consider investing in a trash bag. It's a pretty low budget option. Are there any final questions before I kind of start wrapping up here? Yeah. Sorry, what? Favorite food of bears? So they really love aster, which you can find growing all over the place in the woods. Earlier in the year, they might eat the new buds off of trees or fiddlehead ferns. Later in the year, when the nuts start coming in, they are really fond of hazelnuts. Really good question. Are there any more? All right. Do you want me to wrap it up, or are you going to? Okay. So for all our viewers online, thank you so much for tuning in. For everyone here, if you just really enjoyed this and can't get enough and want to try it again, you can always log into bear.org and be one of our online viewers. We do have all of these cameras streaming 24/7, so you can always check up on our bears and listen to my beautiful voice give you updates every once in a while. We also would love to talk about the Wolf Center. So that's another center in Ely, Minnesota. We like to promote each other because they educate about wolves in the same way we educate about bears. We both just kind of have that goal of dispelling any myths around these sometimes misunderstood animals. Your wristbands, for all of you here, get you $1 off admission at the Wolf Center, and those wristbands are good all day. So if you want to head out, get some lunch, and come back and see Ted one more time, you're welcome to do so. The next behind-the-scenes tour is at 1 o'clock, so if you want to come back and see all 4 of our bears, if you haven't had that opportunity, you are welcome to that as well. If you had a good time here, check us out on TripAdvisor. We are a nonprofit, so the best way for you to help us is just to help us get the word out. So if we have a good score on TripAdvisor, the more people can come here and learn about our cool black bears. So thank you very much to everyone here, and thank you to everyone online.